Our first step is to remove the tunnel brace in order to drop the exhaust. Then unclip the plugs to the exhaust valve actuators at the back of the car. It's a good idea to support the exhaust before lowering it down to prevent damaging anything. Next, remove the 6 hangers holding up the exhaust. The 2 at the rear require the removal of 2 nuts on each side of the car. Carefully lower the exhaust down. Then unbolt the cooler lines from the car, as well as the bolts holding the heat shield in place. Before attempting to pull the heat shield out, unbolt the exhaust from the downpipes. This will allow enough room to remove the heat shield without damaging it. This car has an aftermarket exhaust, so your required socket size here may vary. Next, cut the carrier where the foot meets the carrier frame. Unbolt it from the body. Flip the carrier around and make another cut near the top of the bearing. Now, using a razor blade, make a cut all the way around the bearing to pull the rest of the frame off. Then cut the remaining loose rubber hanging off the front of the bearing all the way around. Leave the base layer of rubber intact. Now we can install the new carrier. Take the top half with the bushing in it and slide it over top of the bearing with the text facing the front of the vehicle. Then bring the bottom half up to meet it and connect the two together using the provided Allen bolts. As you tighten the bolts, switch back and forth from left to right so the bolts don't bind in the holes. A small gap may form between the two bushings. This is normal. Your carrier likely came with a set of several extra washers because your OEM carrier might have been mounted with shims from the factory. Some have it and some don't. If yours doesn't, you can skip this step. If yours does, match the thickness of your shims as close as you can with the provided washers. Then, when installing on the new carrier, put them above the top small washer, then proceed with the install as normal. To mount to the car, take your bolt, put a fender washer on it, an isolation damper facing up, go up into the carrier, bring another isolation damper down from the top, and then put your small washer on the very top. This carrier did not require any extra shims. Same thing on the other side. Bolt, fender washer, isolation damper, up through the carrier, another isolation damper down from the top, and a small washer on the very top. Tighten both bolts and torque them each to 19 Newton meters. Then reinstall everything and enjoy your new JXB driveshaft carrier.